What is one of the simplest, easiest secrets to being a great speaker that hardly anyone ever uses? Well, here it is. Just use notes. You heard me mention this in previous episodes. I want to go into more detail on notes, what they should look like, and how to use them. For starters, focus on one single sheet of paper. What I like to use is an 8.5, 11 sheet of paper folded over long ways, and it keeps it nice, neat, and focused. The beauty of having a single sheet of paper is that now you're not shuffling pages. You don't have to keep your notes straight as far as the numbered pages. You're not seeing turning pages. You're therefore not calling attention to the fact that you're using notes. So that's one big factor. The next big factor, number. Don't use Roman numeral 1, little a, little b. That's fine if you're reading head down, focused on it the whole time. But when you're giving a speech, you want to make it easy for the eye. So just number it. 1, 2, 3. Have everything to the left margin, because if you're standing up and walking around and talking, you want to make it really easy for your eye to glance down. When you're putting together your outline, just use 2 or 3 words to remind yourself what to say, to remind yourself what the point is. If it's a particular number or fact that you can't otherwise remember, put it down. If you want a reminder of what your next slide is, put it down, just a summary in 1 or 2 words. Now, if you find that you really can't fit it all in one page, that's a sign not of problems with notes, that's a sign that you didn't do your due diligence of truly narrowing your speech down to your handful of top ideas. The next step is make the font really large. Make it at least 20 points, so it's so large that you don't have to bend over and look at it, or hold it up, or pick it up, or put glasses on and bend down. That's calling attention to it. There's nothing wrong with using notes, but the less your audience perceives that you're using notes, the better. How often have you seen a profile of some charismatic politician in a major newspaper, and the reporter will write, "And she spoke for an hour without using notes," as if that were a tremendous accomplishment. It seems hard, but we don't really know if that politician was using notes or not. Maybe she was just using those notes effectively. I can tell you I routinely speak for more than an hour to audiences all over the world. I always use notes. Nobody ever has any idea that I use notes until the very end when I hold them up and show it. Now here's a final bonus tip, advanced tip, although again, anyone can do this. If you're 6 years old and you can hit print on your computer, Control P, whatever it is you use to print, you can use this technique. I actually print out 3 copies of my notes. I'll have one sort of on a table or perhaps a chair next to a water glass where I'm speaking. One maybe in the very back of the room or the theater, wherever I'm speaking, and one off to the side. That way I can be moving around, walking. I may have one on the floor. The whole time, I never have to go back to a home base to see my notes. Because the font is so large, I don't have to touch it. I don't have to pick it up. I don't have to put glasses on. So I create this sense with the audience that I'm just having a conversation with them. I'm just sharing with them. And yet I never have to put pressure on myself to remember where to go next or remember my message. It's all there in the notes. So I beg you, don't waste time trying to memorize. Don't waste time using all this mental exertion, rehearsing just to memorize. Use notes, but use them effectively. It'll make your life a lot easier, and your audience will never know.